It seems the fans want us to play Sonic Lost World. We can oblige them both, can't we?
No. There is no way you're getting me to play that train wreck again.
Oh, no, not the craptastic Wii U game. I meant the ROM hack.
Oh, you mean this Sonic Lost World.
Wait, how do you? But it's only a... we know it, screw it. So welcome to Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro, and if that sounds cool to you, why not subscribe? And today I'm once again joined by my friend, the Golden Bolt.
Now before we get into this game, it's best that we discuss the history of a different Sonic game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic 2, developed by the Sega Technical Institute in California, was originally going to be a much larger game.
The original planned Sonic 2 had a length more comparable to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, with a wide variety of stages that were cut.
Most famous of these zones is the Hidden Palace Zone, which is set deep underground and features many of what seem to be the Master Emerald.
While this zone never made its way into the retail release, it is partially complete and playable in the Simon Y and Nick Arcade prototypes of Sonic 2.
Now imagine this, a Sonic 2 ROM hack that seems to add back these Lost Worlds.
And that's what brings us here today to Sonic the Lost Worlds.
Now getting straight into it, this game looks phenomenal. A lot of the level and enemy art had to be based off of pre-release magazine scans, and thus was painstakingly recreated for the sake of this ROM hack.
Not all of them are pretty though. Casino Night Zone, the only zone from the actual release of Sonic 2 that is here on Lost Worlds, is reverted to its beta colors, which features an absolutely garish shade of pink. Furthermore, Cybercity Zone has this awful shade of dark blue. It's kind of out of MS Paint almost.
Wait, don't you mean Cyber City Zone?
Cybercity. I know what I said.
Speaking of Casino Night Zone, that zone has slightly altered music, seeming to be a bit slowed down. The beta themes of Hidden Palace and the boss theme are also present here. As for other zones, they just use random music tracks from the actual Sonic 2 levels.
And on the topic of randomness, let's get into the gameplay.
Now, Sonic the Lost Worlds controls exactly like Sonic 2.
Which of course means it's geared toward fast-flowing platforming that creates the illusion of moving through levels at super high speeds.
However, the zones were not designed with that in mind. In fact, I would go as far to say that the level design is some of the worst I have ever seen in any Sonic game, ever.
Starting from the game's first zone, Dust Hill, you're immediately presented with the annoying crab enemies from Metropolis Zone in Sonic 2. Take that as an omen for the entire rest of the game here.
The very first act of Dust Hill also features bull enemy placement and random bottomless pits that seem to blend in with the rest of the stage. Thus, trying to run anything faster than a quick walk will for sure get you killed.
Also of odd note here is that the bosses are completely out of order. The boss you encounter in Dust Hill Act 2 is actually the boss from Aquatic Ruin Zone.
Now this BS continues throughout most of the rest of the game. The worst offender here would have to be Wood Zone. Yes, Wood Zone. From glitchy tunnels to a jump that I just can't reach. This zone, on the whole, is a burning dumpster fire from beginning to end. Probably worst of all here is the boss, which is lifted directly from Oil Ocean Zone, except here it's placed over a bottomless pit, which means that you will die and die and die before dying some more.
There are only 2 gold nuggets hidden in the pile of garbage that is Sonic the Lost Worlds and its level design, and those are Hidden Palace Zone and Casino Night Zone. Of course, Hidden Palace Zone is partially lifted from that Simon Y prototype, and Casino Night Zone is exactly the same as in Sonic 2, just uglier.
The game doesn't even have a proper credit sequence, just a version of Sky Chase Zone that has names in the sky and no actual enemies. Seeing how much crap you had to go through just to get here, it's just not worth the hassle.
Would you rather it be a hassle at the castle?
Keep that Shrek bit over on your channel.
The only other thing of note with this game is that if you choose to play Sonic the Lost Worlds on an actual Sega Genesis cartridge, you can actually combine it with Sonic and Knuckles and play Knuckles in Sonic the Lost Worlds. I wouldn't recommend you do this because it's actually, the cartridge is a tight fit, and even when you do get it to fit, it gets stuck sometimes like that.
However, if you would like to experience a bit of cut Sonic 2 content, there is a way to do so in an official release.
Let us present the iOS and Android versions of Sonic 2, brought to you by Mr. Christian Whitehead, the same guy behind the fantastic Sonic Mania.
You see, in the original Sonic 2, there is an inescapable spike pit in Mystic Cave Zone. However, you fall into said pit here, you'll be warped to Hidden Palace Zone, which here is just one act that is heavily based off of the Sonic 2 prototype version. The only real change here is that the boss is completely original and not recycled from any other stage. I shall christen it the Egg Trombone.
For only a few bucks, this version of Sonic 2 is absolutely worth it, especially since there are a bunch of hidden goodies and extras here as well.
As for Sonic the Lost Worlds though, do not play this game. It's overall just not worth your time, and as cool of a concept as it was on paper, in execution it just fails in every single level. So with that, thank you very much.
Shrek.
What?
Shrek.
I don't think I understand.
Shrek, damn it! It's Shrektober over on my channel, and you wrote me into this bullshit, so now you're coming with me.
But didn't we already review a Shrek game?
It's never ogre, James. Never.
Oh, what have I gotten myself into?